All right, so we've got the man, the myth, the legend here, T.Y. Williams, all the way from Wainuiomata. I had the privilege in growing up with the bro and doing a bit of training here at Rona myself as well. So yeah, thank you for coming along, brother, and giving us your time today. Man, what was it like growing up in Wainui, and then obviously being quite known in the streets for your fighting and everything else that came along with that, and then transferring that into the ring for you, and then obviously being really successful quite quickly as well. Was there much of a difference from street fighting to, I guess, boxing and kickboxing?
Yeah, it was all the discipline, actually learning techniques. I think when I first went to training, I realised how much I didn't know how to fight.
Wow.
And how much people don't know how to fight, but you think you do. And I think I was looking for something on the streets that just didn't exist.
Wow.
There's not really, it's not an honourable thing when you're looking at your opponent across the ring and he's ready, no mates, no alcohol, it's just you and him,
True, that's so true.
So that was, for me, that was just admirable and honourable, So that was what I really liked about it. I actually started kickboxing first. I'm not a boxer. Everyone thinks I was a boxer. But I was going and competing in boxing and training at boxing on the off days.
Man.
So back then, I don't know what it was, but there was a real racist thing where the boxers hated kickboxers and kickboxers probably didn't mind, but boxers wouldn't let you box if you kickboxed. So I just wouldn't tell them, turn up, legs all bruised, for golden gloves. Yeah. Just go for it, That wasn't any of my troubles.
So leading into your first King of the Ring, what was it like for you? Because I think, I remember, I thought it was 3 fights, but so you had 6 kickboxing fights prior to being called up for that first King of the Ring in the middleweight division. What was it like for you?
Well, it's a big step up, being someone who's sort of only had 6 fights. I think the thing I was most scared about was 3 minutes, because it was the first time fighting 3 minutes. I hadn't fought 3 minutes before. And just all the accolades of all these other fighters, 40 fights, these bouts. I didn't even have a belt or anything. Yeah. But we just prepared. I knew my style was different, and I just had different knowledge than a lot of people that I had seen.
Okay, so you won the first King of the Ring, and then the second one you were saying you fought at King of the Ring, but for a world title shot, was that correct?
The year after that, I fought for a world title. On that King of the Ring, my ankle started playing up, like the first one. It took sort of 6 months and it just went away. So the year after, on the next King in the Ring, Jace had a world title shot organised for me with the Australian dude, Ben Johnson.
That's that tall bloke,
yeah. He's a good fella too. We ended up doing 7 2s. Strange, I don't know.
That is strange, yeah, that's hard and fast, eh?
So we did 7 2-minute rounds. And it went the distance too. Because Ben, he's tough as, so he was, when they showed me his name and I looked him up, he had this highlight and he was just decapitating people's legs, smoking them. I think he was 12-0 or 12-1. Most of them were knockouts or finishes,
What was your prep like, knowing that he's obviously got a lot of reach and that he uses his legs quite a bit?
When I saw his style, something in me said that I wanted to take him out by his own style, which was leg kicks, punches and leg kicks, which was sort of my style too. So I sort of made that decision then and there. Obviously, during camp and that, you get some injuries and whatnot that you've got to deal with as well. In most fights, rarely go into a fight, 100%.
So you won that title shot, and then did you fight him was that the 3 King of the Rings that won the title shot, and then was there one more that you fought in as well?
There was one more that I fought in. The year after that was the next Cruiserweight, and that was the one Israel won.
Yeah.
And there was a few more, like Slav won one, Cam Ralston won one, and then somewhere in between there anyway, before or after, and then I came back, had a fight or 2, and then entered in this one.
And did you say, was your wrist already fractured or sprained prior to the King of the Ring, or did it happen whilst you were fighting?
Oh, yeah, so training up for that about 3 weeks out, I dislocated it. Because I was sitting hard and I dislocated this bit here. It's actually still dislocated.
You can see that.
But
it's hectic. Have you just let it heal that way too?
Yeah, well, I have to have surgery to put it back in, so.
Are you going to do it, or do you think it might affect you too much long term, so you don't want to do it?
Yeah, it's not giving me any trouble now, so I just left it.
Who needs a doctor when you're TYA?
It did give me trouble for about 6 months, like afterwards, but I think it was more the tendon.
Do you prep for all fights the same way, or for King of the Ring, knowing you've got 3 fights one night, do you think, fuck, I'm going to do something a bit extra, or you're just always hard and fast anyway, so?
Fitness is one. Just taking every fight as it comes. You take one fight and you might be sore as hell, but I don't know how, but you know you've got to fight another one, so.
And I guess you don't even know whether you will fight the 3 fights as well, so you might just go out in the first fight, so if you overthink it, then you might end up obviously overdoing it that way as well, eh?
Yeah, I think if you have in your mind that no matter what happens, I've still got to fight another fight, it's not really that bad. Like, if you got the sorest leg, you still got to fight another fight. So you just make peace with that before you even go to the tournament, you know. So
would you try to go more up top with the boxing, and then if you have the leg kicks, only make sure those are going to land and be worth kicking rather than just kicking the shit out of them?
Yeah, it depends. More likely you'd go with the boxing, but in the earlier fights. But like in my last one, obviously, I was saving this for the final. I thought I could make it to the final, but I've got to save it. So it was more legs.
I think I remember you saying, like, because you knew that it had been as bad as it was, you were only going to throw it if you knew it was going to be worth like landing.
Yeah,
it had to be like a knockout punch.
Yeah, so I was just more tapping it and threw it a couple of times, but I just didn't want that risk just in case, because it was fresh. It was a fresh injury. So now I would throw it hard.
Because it's obviously healed a bit better, eh?
It's healed in place. The wrong place, but it's healed. The club I came from was like real.
Do you say Alpha? That's out in Porirua, right?
Yeah. So I ended up going out there with like Nato and Ra Redden, the Redden brothers, and
Redden brothers, yeah.
The first day I turned up, it was sparring, eh? And the sparring looked like fighting, and I was like, oh.
Leading up to King of the Ring, what was it like when you won your first title? Well, obviously it was your first one. What was it like? How did it feel?
That felt good actually, because it was sort of like a dream.
There has to be the dream. It's the pinnacle of fighting in the kickboxing space, eh? So
and everything was against me, you know, as in experience, size. I think it was only 83 kgs.
So when you won your first King of the Ring, or both of them, did any opportunities come from that? Like from winning King of the Ring, does it open up heaps of doors after that as well?
Yeah, it does. But like I said, after that King of the Ring, my ankle, that was the first hint of my ankle sort of playing up for a good, probably 6 months or something. Came right, and I got a world title fight on the next King of the Ring. I think it was like 62 kgs or something.
Did you cut down to 62?
Nah.
Oh, so it was how did that work? Oh, sorry, you were at one of the main events for that.
Yeah, so I was like just having a fight on their super fight.
So obviously the King of the Ring is at the end of this month. For any of the upcoming fighters that were in the division that you've thought in, is there any tips and tricks you would give them in preparing and all those sorts of things?
Make sure you're fit and conditioned and prepare for like the worst. If you prepare for the worst thing that can happen, do I even really need to say what the worst thing is?
Yeah.
And if you accept that that's something, then that'll really help you. No matter what happens, like an injury, sore leg, you'll continue because it's better than the worst thing happening. Eh?
Yeah, I like that.
That's how I always sort of thought of it anyway. Not always, but a lot of fights I could get into that actual belief and believe it.
And also, what was your why with all your training or in any of the fighting? Was there a reason behind it, or was it more of just a passion of yours that just drove you to want to?
I think from a little kid, I was just passionate about fighting.
People hiding.
No, I was actually a real gentle kid, eh? But just where I was, just learned to...
Oh, the wino boys, eh?
Yeah.
Those bongo vans, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I knew I could fight from like 4 years old. Even though I didn't like fighting, I just knew.
You knew what? Yeah, true.
I was really good at it.
Also, so you finished up with the King of the Ring stuff. From there onwards, was it the bare knuckle fight you had in Japan after that?
No, I had the bare knuckle fight. I think that was 2018. So the last King in the Ring was 2019.
Sorry, that was because you and Judas went over to Japan. I remember that now. What was that like? How do you prepare for that?
Shit, that was a bit more extreme because, you know, you got no gloves. It's like a bit more serious than the sport.
Yeah. Like any gentle clip or anything could actually get knocked out through the punch, eh?
And you know, you got headbutts, elbows.
Was it headbutts as well?
Yeah.
I never heard of headbutts.
Yeah, it's headbutts.
True, that's hectic.
So Muay Thai is the art of 8 limbs and Lethwei is the art of 9. So
wow.
it's all that, including the headbutts, yeah.
Far. And how long did that fight go for? I can't recall how that went.
I finished them in the first round. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so first round, yeah.
So first round, I dropped him. Actually, no, he was out clean. But one of the rules is, even if you get knocked out, you've got this 2-minute break you're allowed to use.
Wow, to come back, that's dangerous, isn't it?
Dangerous.
What's going on in the world here?
So they can pull you back, wake you up, put some water on your face. You got 2 minutes and then you can go back up.
Did he get back up?
Yeah, he got back up. Wow. And his jaw was broken over here. I didn't know at the time until the end.
What did you land? Did you land on your overhand right here? Ooh.
Yeah. And then I ended up dropping him 2 more times and the ref just waved it off. So that's the only way you can win in those rules. So you can also, if both of you make it to the end and one's, you know, you smash the other one, but you both make it to the end, there's a draw.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. You can be battered, broken, this and that, but if you make it through, that's when you know you're tough, eh?
The only way to win it is knockout.
Wow, that's mean. So, anyway, so fast forward till 2024 now. What do things look like for you now? Obviously, you've got Ronan Gym here, and you're obviously doing lots of things here for the gym, which is cool.
Yeah, so during COVID, I just started training people, and my passion sort of veered into that, as opposed to myself.
Because everyone keep asking me, hey, is T.Y. coming back? Is he fighting? You know, people that know that I know you quite well up in Auckland and stuff, I'm just like, oh, he's really giving back and teaching all the younger generations now. I think that's his passion and buzz now, eh? I
started training everyone else and stopped training myself. And COVID was long, eh? What, 2-3 years?
Yeah, true.
And then after that, I think I can still good for a couple more. But
do you think you're going to be coming back home in the ring?
Definitely. I'd always planned to. I just get caught up with other people.
You're busy enough doing what you're doing now, eh?
Yeah. Trying to develop other people, and that's about it.
All right, brother. Well, appreciate your time today as always. That's probably the most we've ever heard him speak on camera that I know of. So hey, there's some wise words in there. Sure, my brother. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Sure, G.
Appreciate it.
The man.